What's up, folks?
Hey, what's up, guys?
We got Henry Mosley in here already and Dylan Phillips.
What's up, Henry?
Here. Good to see you guys.
Dylan, good to see you, sir.
Should be some good conversation tonight. We got some good topics. Wild Japan, how you doing?
What's up, Wild Japan?
And we all had stuff to do this last weekend. Hopefully all y'all in the chat did too. I know Stanley's going to do the photos of the weekend, so we'll get a good look at what some of you might have or might not have done. 405 Outdoors, good to see you. So what's going on, guys?
Busy weekend.
Yeah.
All the way around. Busy here. God, I just spent like 5 minutes trying to fix this, and now it's like right there again. Dang it. Yeah, awesome weekend here too, and it's like a continuation of what's ended up looking like it's going to be just a completely awesome month. Keeping the fingers crossed. What's up, Nick?
What's up, Nick?
Yeah. Good to see everybody coming in. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We also got we all done some stuff. So while we're waiting for folks to pile in, so Grant, what were you up to, man?
Well, a good friend of mine that I used to bass fish with a lot before he started having kids, and well, his kids are getting old enough. His son's actually 9, and I've taken him out on my boat a few times. He's hooked. I mean, his mom's boyfriend has been taking him to all these little farm ponds, and he's just been wearing out the big 5 and 6 pound bass, largemouth bass. So he is hooked.
Nice.
You want to take a look at that now?
So Dad had to buy him a boat. So we drove down to Nashville, and this guy was, I think, 83 that he bought the boat off of. It was 2004 Nitro 17-footer. Nice little bass boat with the 115 on it. We ended up getting it back from Nashville Friday, and he got it registered and all that. We took it out Sunday. We put it in the Ohio. Motor ran good once he figured out how to get it on plane. And we trolled around. We fished. We threw, I don't know, probably a dozen different lures, different bass lures, whatever would try to bite lures, and had a couple small gar following them, but that's about it in the river. So trolling motor didn't last but a couple hours. We packed up and pulled out of there and went and bought a new trolling motor battery, and it was the heat of the day then, so we waited. Got lucky. He picked me up about 3, and we actually had just missed some showers, and it got cloudy, and it was the perfect, just beautiful Sunday afternoon. Caught some fish. It was awesome.
Nice. Real quick on that. So check it. I got to bring up some photos on this.
Yeah.
Like, Grant, I was so excited to see this happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the picture there I'm looking at it on the left, me and Braden holding the little sunfish. That was his dad was like, all right, let's go. I'm wore out. And me and him both made like one more cast, and we both doubled up on the last cast.
Nice.
Of course, he had to make a few more casts after that, but that was my last fish of the day.
Man, the colors on them are pretty.
Yeah, I didn't post any of the largemouth. Brandon, the dad, he caught, I think, 6 largemouth.
Who was taking the picture there in that top left one?
Janet.
Yeah.
Janet took that picture.
So she was out there catching, probably caught more fish than you, bigger fish.
Well, she was actually bass fishing, and she caught the biggest bluegill.
There you go.
But yes, for some reason the bass just wasn't hitting. She was throwing a frog, threw a worm, threw a couple of different things. She just couldn't get them to bite.
That looked like a good Sunday to me.
Yeah, that makes my day just seeing that. It's pretty out there, man.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah. My weekend was, of course, boat work because I got, not this upcoming weekend, but the weekend after, I got to get to the coast and run into some motor issues I didn't know I had on port motor. I got lower unit with water in it, so I drained it, pulled the prop, placed the seals there at the prop shaft, But a good friend of mine that owns a boat shop here in San Antonio messaged me and told me that it's typically the input shaft or the shift shaft that goes in from the top. So I got to pull the whole lower unit. Might as well do the impeller since I'm there. So luckily, Joel, I've been ordering parts, and Joel's going to be coming over Saturday and lend me a hand. We're going to rip that thing off of there, get it put all back together. Still got to fix the tilt trim on the same motor. It's like the starboard motor is pristine. Everything works fine. And the port motor is a little yikes. So I got to drain the trim. I got to pull the seals, replace the seals, refill it, bleed it, and then it should be good. So hopefully by Sunday afternoon, it's all good to go. I got a couple other little installs I'm doing. I made this. So we got, I guess, over 25 foot. The dude who did the inspection said you have to have a high water alarm for the billage. And so I've got 2 billage, and the rear has an auto billage, but the front is just a plain old billage pump that you have to turn on. So you don't know if the water's there until you turn it on. So they're going to be wired to 2 different ones. There's going to be one go to back to the aft and then one forward. So I had to make the whole mount for it. And it's just going to cover up. I had an area on my dash where there was a autopilot that doesn't work. So there's about a 3-inch hole there. So I made that plate so that it would completely cover that hole and make it look a little better in that area. So fun stuff. I like working with starboard.
How difficult is it to get that plate made?
It wasn't that hard. It's starboard, so it's a material like on most boats. The drawers and the bait compartments, all those are made out of it.
Like that stuff you used to make like a cutting board out of.
Yeah. So this is, I bought black 1/4 inch, and then it was like a 12 by 12 piece, and I just cut it down to what I needed, cut out the holes for these to mount into it, do a little sanding on the edges to round them, and it's easy to work with. So I like that stuff.
Nice. I always wanted a tackle box made out of that stuff so it could double as a cutting board.
Or at least put it on top of a tackle box. That'd be cool.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea either. I'm looking forward to all that. My weekend, I have been like super blessed.
Yeah.
And I got 2 weeks in a row now. I got another opportunity to get it way out offshore. Went out and did fishing, got Rachel out on Thrill Ride, way offshore. It was supposed to be an inshore snapper run, ended up being a crazy offshore deal. Her first time, like the farthest out she'd ever been. And well, here's a little sneak peek of that.
Holy smoke.
Heck of a weekend.
Jacks, I see sharks, I see snapper.
Last year, she got whooped by a big jack. So I probably shouldn't have like hammered her as hard, but I was like, this is your chance. This is your opportunity for redemption. You want a chance to get that jack back. Now is the time to do it. Right. And I said, all you got to do is drop this thing down. They're real easy to catch. They were all over the boat. And so she dropped one down and got whooped, but she got it in.
Nice.
Nice.
Almost as big as she is.
Yeah, there was one that we didn't hook into him, but there was one that was over 50 inches. He was massive.
They're crazy, man. When we were on that trip in Louisiana, and at the end when we were throwing out some of the baits, and a herd of them came. It was like a herd. They just came up and started tearing up the baits, and just watching them. It's like they're fast and they're vicious.
One of the best fighting fish. They were giving me a hard time. I ended up going through 4 of those guys on this trip. And normally I do 1 because I always keep 1 for shark bait out on the island. Yeah. So I every trip I catch 1. I ended up going through 4, and that I've never been so gassed in my life. But yeah, they're like you said, they're just all over the boat. One of the best fighting fish in the sea, but man, they'll tear you up.
All right, pound for pound, I've never caught them. Well, I've caught a small, little bitty jack. Those versus an amberjack. What one's? Amberjack's nickname is a reef donkey. So
they're heavy. And I think the difference between them, I think the Jack Crevalle is a better fighter, but they're thinner, they're sleeker. If you get a Jack Crevalle that's the same size as an amberjack, I think he puts up more of a fight. But the amberjack's going to be heavier, and that makes a difference.
It's a big, thick fish, yeah.
And we got taxed. Like we broke off a lot on the sharks. I had to bring up my revenge. We had to boat one. I like eating shark, and that was an eating shark. So
is that a shark nose or what is that?
that's a black tip.
Black tip? Okay.
You can tell because he doesn't have the black tip
On
because
the anal fin, yeah.
T-paw.
I couldn't see the top of his dorsal. Yeah, they're supposed to be yummy. I've had Atlantic shark nose when I was in Florida, and that tasted good. So I imagine. Well, I guess the whole thing is how you take care of them.
Yeah, I agree with that. What I do is I marinate them in teriyaki for about an hour, and then I cook them in teriyaki. And I had my nieces are down with us for this week. Served them all shark, just to experiment and see how bad the mercury affects them before I eat it. They liked it. They were good with it.
So Mark,
Nobody glowing or anything yet.
Yeah, right. I told my brother, I said, you're going to be able to tell the temperature by looking at your daughters after I'm done with them.
What's up, Mark J?
What's up, man?
That's crazy. Wild Japan.
Doing my part. Like 405 said, yeah, shark numbers, they're a little bit ridiculous. The regulation, in my opinion, my the little bit that I know, I think they're a little bit weird on the regulation. So I'm doing my part to kind of help balance the ecosystem.
Yeah, you see nature shows and all that. The endangered whatever sharks are endangered and all. But then anybody dealing with fishing in the ocean knows there's certain sharks. Yes, okay, but the sharks we're dealing with, right? The black tips, all those sharks that are in there closer are eating everybody's catch. If you watch anybody fish offshore, if they're catching, they're going to have.
They're going to lose half their catch.
Yeah, they're going to have half a fish come up.
Yeah, seen that a lot.
Yeah, I just watched the Gale Force twins, right?
Yep.
Two young ladies that are captains, and they did a video on planer board trolling, and they're targeting wahoo. The first fish they got was a nice king, and then they got a wahoo, but they ended up with half a wahoo because the shark came up and chomped half of it off. So after all day fishing like that, you got two fish really, and one of them bit in half. It's like, damn.
The snapper fishing, amberjack. If you want, like, snapper fishing is one thing, but man, if you want to get a shark, if you really want to get yourself into a good shark, go fishing for amberjack. You'll be lucky to get one of the boat, the one that's of size. They're going to destroy you. And you know what it is? It's the down here at least. It's the duskies and silkies. I don't even know the difference. It doesn't matter because every single one of them is like 10, 12 foot. They're massive.
Golly.
You can't eat those?
That size, I would eat. If I was legally able to take one, I would eat it. I would harvest it once. But I would eat such a small amount of that shark because of the amount of mercury that's probably, in that meat. I'm talking like I would probably eat a piece of meat that I could fit in this cup.
Yeah.
The mercury content is so high on those things.
And sharks, the regulations are funny. It's like there's so many types of sharks, and there's different sizes. Certain ones you can't keep at all, and so I just look for the ones that, hey, if they're 24-inch or longer, you can keep those, and anything else. So basically, black tip, bonnet heads, stuff like that.
Yeah.
The others are like 68 inches, and then you got to be able to tell the different sharks apart. And be honest, looking in the water at a shark on a hook, it might be hard to tell it apart.
This one right here. So this is a black tip shark, and the anal fin right there.
Right.
There's no black tip. Like, you see how there's a black tip on the on those other couple of fins there. So black tips and spinners are both the exact same shark. I think the spinner's got a little bit longer nose technically, but they both have those black tips on the fins. The spinner shark has a black tip on that anal fin, and the black tip does not have the black tip on the anal fin.
Yeah. So that's confusing.
And it's like a 50-inch difference in what's allowed between these two species based on that black tip on that. Like, literally, if you could, take a black marker and just color it in a little bit like that, this is an illegal fish.
Yeah, I think 68 is the size on them, and 24 on the black tip. So It's crazy. And they talk about where the dorsal fin starts in relation to the pec fin. But man, when you're looking in the water at a shark and everything's going on, it is hard to
you see him from like the top down, and he's kicking and screaming. There's
no way. When you get it, then you can tell. But if you got it, you probably gaffed it, and oops, you know what I mean? So that's a tough call. I won't keep any big sharks just because I don't freaking know.
Oh, see, I'm the exact opposite. I keep it until I don't know.
Yeah,
I drive my uncle up a wall because I want to keep every single thing that goes in the boat, and he's always trying to release stuff because he's right. I'm the antithesis to my uncle, and I think we need that balance. But he lets everything go, and I'm like, no, dude, I'll eat that. I'll eat every bit of that.
On that.
Blue runner, barracuda, I don't care.
Hey, Monica.
So possibly, it's possible we're looking at doing another run next weekend. Which John, we're talking about going and checking out Aquaholic on Saturday. I told my dad and my uncle, I was like, I'm probably not gonna be able to make it out next weekend. I'm committed to going on the run with this boat and checking things in. And they were like, well, that's fine. You're doing that on Saturday. We're going out fishing on a murder 16-hour trip on Friday. You can do that and then go do Aquaholic on Saturday.
You know what? That'll probably be good though, because your drive to fish as a younger man is up there. So
thank you.
They can take some of that out of you before you come on Saturday with those
I
old
want to keep
guys.
everything.
We'll be a little more, right? If Grant was there, it'd be like, shit, Grant's got to fish for 2 days straight. Then he can come with us, and we might be a little closer to the same, speed at the time.
I don't know what you're talking about. Grant's got way more energy than I do.
He does. That's what I'm saying.
He's an animal.
2 days of fishing before he goes with us.
Yeah, and then does like a 16-hour drive.
If you come up to Michigan this next year, Grant, I want you to walk the last 20 miles to the house, and then we go fishing, and we'll be about the same energy level.
No, we just got to catch our limit of walleye somehow, some way, so that I'll get my fix.
That's true. I can't argue with that. I agree. I don't know if I've ever caught a limit of walleye up there, and the limit's not very much, actually.
Yeah, that lake we fished Sunday, it actually supposedly has walleye in it, and the limit's 6. But I don't know. We'll have to try to fish it more. It's right out an hour away. Got to pay. It's a public lake, but it's a private lake, so you got to pay $5 to use the boat ramp.
Oh, okay. So besides the way we did with planer boards and all that, right? Like when they're fishing the Detroit River and all that, they jig. Look at the graph, come up, mark some fish, and they're just straight up and down jigging and catching them. So you might be something to try in the lake other than trying to troll with planer boards.
Yeah. What's up, Ben?
What's up, Ben?
Ben made it. What's up, man?
We don't need to start over. We've been waiting for you this whole time. We were literally like almost silent.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't talk about nothing yet.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Oh, man. All right. We're a quarter or what? A third, something like that into this thing. We probably need to talk about your topic from the thumbnail.
Yeah. So what's going on? This is a little weird. It's a little weird. I'm not going to lie. We're talking about Vibrio. It's the flesh-eating bacteria. And normally, under normal circumstances, it prefers an unoxygenated environment. Like you find it in oysters, you find it on the bottom of canals where there's not a whole lot of water movement, things like that. Very common. People get scared of going to the beach because they're worried about, like getting Vibrio, flesh-eating bacteria, but it's like there's too much oxygen in the water at the beach to support Vibrio. Until now. Because now it's coming in on the seaweed to Florida, and people are getting flesh-eating bacteria from Sargasso. From that big patch that's moving in. I guess the patch is sucking up all the oxygen or something.
I don't know.
Ben, that's funny.
That's funny.
Scary.
That's why
I don't know what, dude. I feel like this is such a dramatization, and I don't want to tell people like, don't, this is dumb and don't worry about it. I'm not saying like that. I saw a news thing last year. One of these days, I'm going to do a Vibrio video because it's something that we have down here. There are specifics to like finding it and stuff, like, you know, staying away from it. And the news thing that I saw, and it was like a reputable news station that played this story, and every shot that they showed was people out at the beach in the surf, which is not where Vibrio happens. They were completely sensationalizing the story of a fisherman who cut his foot fishing in a bay. Yeah. In some little, you know, inlet in a bay where, you know, you should be wearing shoes. You need to be careful of this kind of stuff. I've been told that since I was a little kid. If you're in the bay, if you're in the canals and the channels and stuff like that, you got to wear shoes because of the flesh-eating bacteria, because of those sorts of problems. And every shot that they had was a complete dramatization because they were showing shots of spring breakers. You know, like they're trying to make it look like it was like Jaws about to happen.
Right. Did they have any like numbers of people exposed or anything from seaweed?
No, it was one. Oh no, yeah, the actual article. I'll look it up right now, but no, I didn't see anything like that. But let me look at it. Let's see. I got it right here.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. We've heard of that before, right? But like you said, it's always been kind of warm backwaters where there's not a lot of movement in the water. Areas you got to worry about, i.e., like you said, the inner bays and places like that. So
what they're saying for your numbers is, and this is in my opinion, this is kind of sensational. They're blowing this out. Oh, okay. So like the very first line of this article says, it might have been one of Alfred Hitchcock's fanciful tales of the supernatural. Like that's how this article starts. And then it says a 5,000-mile wide blob of seaweed is creeping menacingly across the Atlantic before dumping itself along the U.S. shoreline. And scientists, later on, I kind of skipped through some of this, scientists are warning of a real-life threat from the piles of decomposing algae, higher levels of flesh-eating Vibrio. There's
nothing saying it's there.
Nobody's got it.
Right.
Nobody's been affected by it, but scientists have detected Vibrio in the seaweed.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, sounds like some good writing there, huh?
I mean, I wish I could write like that, honestly.
I don't even know what was the title of the article.
It's by The Guardian, by the way. Clumps of 5,000-mile seaweed blob bring flesh-eating bacteria to Florida.
What a title.
Yeah, that's a good one. We should have titled our stream that.
Let's not go on vacation to Florida. They have flesh-eating bacteria.
Dude, Dave, that is freaking hilarious.
What's up, Pickle?
Hey, Pickle, how you doing? Yeah, I'm sure the tourist industry in Florida appreciated that one.
You know what? I think it all falls on deaf ears these days.
Yeah, I don't think they're hurting any from it.
Nope, not. Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's adding to the pile with that. It's commonplace. It's always been commonplace. It's yellow journalism. It's just they're trying to sell a newspaper. They're trying to sell their ads on the thing. Yeah. That's fine. That's how it's always been. The problem is that now with social media and with everything else going on with all of that, it's like everything gets so blown out of proportion, so shared out, and everything on social media, everything on the internet is like a fact. That's where the problem is. Yeah. And we all know this. We've had this conversation.
Yep. Yep, I agree.
Quick mask up.
Oh, here we go.
That's freaking funny.
Get our mask out. Crazy. Crazy. So that's something to, be aware of. It is out there. It's not.
It is there. Right. It is there.
It's not at the level. Talk to people and see how many of them have had flesh-eating bacteria. That'll give you an idea how prevalent it is.
I have spent my life in water.
Flesh-eating bacteria.
There's probably other things that would test positive in that water that you wouldn't want either.
Right.
Well, yeah. Every spring break, they do a test on the amount of fecal matter
Yeah,
in the water. Yeah, E. coli. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that's an annual sensation that has to get published.
Mhm. Well, talking about cooties and stuff, they inject bleach.
There you go.
Yeah, that worked. Talking about cooties and stuff. So everybody knows about chronic wasting disease,
Yeah,
usually in deer and stuff. And up north, Michigan, it's been a while they've been dealing with that. Recently in Texas, we've had these breeding farms, deer breeding farms. A couple of them got hit positive with it. And then the Texas Parks and Wildlife just put out that they found it in the wild deer in Bear County. It's Bexar, but Texas pronounces it Bear. And that's the county I live in. So now we've got chronic wasting disease in the once it's out there in the wild, it's going to be hard for them to get a handle of because it's going to deer. They're around each other, they're around other herds, and it just is going to spread. I don't know. I think the best thing they can do is study places like Michigan, who's been dealing with it for a while, and see what's worked for them and what hasn't. I know Michigan. My folks up there, my peoples up there, you couldn't. They used to be able to put out feed piles, right? We'd put out sugar beets and stuff like that for deer. And because of chronic wasting disease, they're like, you can't do that because it brings the deer together, and that's how they spread it. Well, look out at that field, the farmer's field, in the corn and all that, and the deer are together feeding. So, that was their argument to, that's not going to make a difference. And I don't know if it did. Just like zebra mussels. Here in Texas now, where zebra mussels are in a lot of the lakes. And one lake they just said is fully contaminated. I forgot which lake it was. And so
We Go Fishing just did a report on that, by the way. I think they just put it up today.
Okay. And they say wash and dry your boat after each use before you put it in another body of water. I don't know how many people dry their live wells out with a towel and all that. But I know one thing it did up in Michigan, and not talking to DNR type people, but the fishermen, they're like, man, our water's a lot cleaner now, and we're still catching fish. So to us, it really didn't do much. So it just depends on how you look at it, I guess. But these invasive species, I don't think it's going to get better, right? They just keep spreading.
Yeah,
Some of them.
I'm sure there's certain fish that eat the mussels too. I'm sure catfish.
Yeah. I forgot what they were, but there are some because they'll find them in the bellies.
Yeah. Same here in Illinois. It's illegal. We can't bait. Can't use. We can use urine in the track.
Wow.
But yeah, we can't bait.
Come on, Minnesota.
Wow.
We get rough on those old people that can't walk far.
Man, yeah, in Texas, I could shoot one up the front yard.
Right?
I can't trap.
Henry's right about zebra mussels. They do cause a problem. Like our power plant lakes and places like that are really concerned about them because you can't have them gumming up pipes. But in a more natural setting in a lake, I don't know. You do need to find something that would eat them, I guess. And they try to find poisons, but it's tough. How can you have some type of poison that's going to affect just that critter and not the other critters? You know what I mean?
That's how you end up with those. Those Asian carp,
right?
Which they're talking about renaming them silversides to get people kind of like more into eating them, so like that. I think they need to come up with a better name.
No, they've renamed them here at least. They're Copi, Copi.
Really, Copi? That does sound. I like that. That's got it. Like Opie is an excellent saltwater fish. So Copi, I like the direction they're going.
But did it make them taste better? I've always, you know what? I'll be honest. I've never fished for carp on purpose. I mean, we shot them with bows back when I was a kid. Never ate them because at the time when I was in Michigan, everybody's like, those are trash fish. You don't eat carp. I knew some people that would eat them, but they're supposed to be real bony. So I don't know. Are they edible even, carp? I know suckers are. We'll smoke a sucker, but I don't know about carp. Do people eat them or just catch and release? Because that's what you need. A lot of people kill a whole bunch of them, especially if they're out bow fishing at night. They'll kill a bunch of them, but then they'll use them like chop them up to be in gardens and stuff like that. But I've never heard anybody say like lionfish. Everybody says, "Oh, the invasive lionfish is horrible," but there are now restaurants serving lionfish because they realize it tastes really good. So
Dude, lionfish is amazing.
yeah, I haven't had it, but I've heard. So somebody's got to come up with a recipe that makes carp taste good.
To be fair, I haven't had it either. I'm just comparing it to similar species that have had, like scorpion fish. It's a species of scorpion fish. Scorpion fish are amazing. I'm sure lionfish is too. And I honestly, I hope nobody has an answer to how carp actually tastes, because I plan on doing a video on that. I've never eaten it. I desperately want to. I just haven't. I don't know the first thing about freshwater. I just need to catch one.
Yeah, you use some corn on a hook. They use dough balls with like Kool-Aid and stuff like that. Those are good baits for carp. I know that.
Henry, are you talking about carp? We're the only one that call it, or are you talking about like the Asian carp in general?
No, he's right. Over in Europe, carp fishing is a big thing. I mean, it's as big as like fly fishing and all that. Here in the States, you know, you have these people that are like, I tie a youpity-doopity this fly to catch this certain species at this. That's how carp fishermen are in Europe, it seems like.
Yeah, I know Australia. I've seen some YouTubers in Australia that carp fish.
Yeah. I think it is a U.S. only thing that calls them trash.
Remember this conversation. Whenever I get around to actually making that video, when I get a carp, I want everybody in on this conversation. Live in Minnesota, Henry, and all you guys, everybody who had like anything about this. We're going to talk about this again. I will mention it again. And I want everybody involved in that video. Like if when I make that, we're going to have like a Zoom meeting or something to talk about it for the video.
All right. So living in Minnesota outdoors says common carp are okay, better in cold water.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
All right. Nick says you ate sand lice. I never heard about this. I know Nick will eat anything. He's worse than me. I do feel like I need some exposition on this. What were you doing eating sand lice?
You're in Korea.
In Korea? What were you doing in Korea?
Really?
Or versus like what? Is Korean sand lice better than ours? I feel that's a little racist.
Just like European carp are better than ours, dang it.
Right.
All right, Mark. That's the one way I think it would be good.
Smoke. Yeah, you can smoke anything.
Yeah. Typically, if there's a fish that's questionable, just smoke it.
Smoke it. Everybody tells me, like, whenever I catch a jackfish, they're like, "Oh, smoke it." There is a very few amount of fish that I don't want to eat that are on my list of like I'm done. I just don't want to. Jack is one of them, and all the time I get told just smoke it.
I want to get a kingfish and do some smoked fish dip.
I'm good with that.
Always
Smoked
sounds
kingfish,
good when
that's
people
good.
do it.
You got to do it fresh because it does get fishy really quick. But I'm good with kingfish. My 2 cents on that. And we'll be doing some kingfish and stuff like that. I got some tricks on catching those too.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out there and trying.
Hey, Ben, we were just talking about you.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben, we're on the topic of invasive species and some other chronic wasting diseases and stuff like that. If you have the link to that shorts video that you put out with the lake that's got the zebra mussel infestation, we were just talking about that. If you want to drop it, go right ahead.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good.
I've never had that issue with it making me cough. I will say I overly do it.
She's talking about rolling it and smoking it.
So we're talking about deadly weed and smoking and other fishing related things. In case you were,
can you dry out sargassum and roll it and smoke it?
You can eat it. Sargasso is edible. It's gross, but it's edible.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I should probably do that video. Now thinking about it, I don't want to.
Yeah, you probably.
I'm going to die from Vibrio if I do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'll get you for sure.
Hey, real quick here. This is from last week, but I told him I'd pull it up. I thought this was just cool. So I love getting photos like this. Anybody who wants to like submit them, I just love seeing it. This was Dark Soldier last week, who was just like, oh, no, I'm sorry. This is Bestuvian who did this.
Nice.
Yeah, I just
Watch
like
it
seeing
on
it.
the big screen.
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you. What's Nick saying? You guys will never catch up. It was the strangest thing. Sand lice, the big ones. Well, I mean, you don't eat the small ones, although I bet they're more tender. It was fishy on the first bite, but it tasted like lobster and crayfish. Yeah, I know they taste like crab. I've never done them.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
There's the link from We Go Fishing too.
Yeah, we'll have that link pinned at the top of the chat for just a bit here. So anybody who's interested in hearing that lake in Texas, it's got the zebra mussels. Ben over here, We Go Fishing. He's got that covered.
I forgot what the lake's name was, but they officially declared it infested. Or there's several lakes that have them here, but I guess that's probably the worst one. Seaweed is decent. I think only 16 species are regularly eaten now. Yeah, I don't think sargassum is one of the 16.
You guys got better seaweed than we do by far. Ours is not, it's edible, but it is not good.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do this week? Audrey's leaving town Wednesday, tomorrow.
Do we need to be talking about this on the record?
Yeah, no, we can talk about it. She's going to the coast with a couple of her coworkers, a couple girlfriends. They're going to go hang out at the coast for a few days. So I bought the kit and everything I need to use some of that tuna I caught and make some sushi rolls.
Nice.
Yeah,
yes.
The first time I ever made them. I've never made them before, so I probably won't do a video, but I'll definitely do some photos and post it on all my social media. So,
Grant,
at the end of the week, it was because of sushi.
Grant, do you and Janet, do you guys do sushi?
No.
Oh man.
No. I mean, we just never have.
Look, I wish we would get. I know there's other fish you can do it with, but I would love to have fresh tuna, next time they come down here while they're here, and just eat it sashimi.
Yeah.
Maybe do a little. Oh man,
I agree.
It's so good. There's no fish taste at all. It's good.
I did it with blackfin. I haven't done yellowfin. It's a little sinewy for my taste. The flavor's not bad. It's a little it's not great compared to ahi. But yeah, I mean, you can start talking about yellowfin and stuff like that. That is some awesome fish.
Yeah, it was delicious. What's going on?
Pickle Outdoors says, not sure if it was answered. I imagine you have to bleed out a carp. I'm kind of curious about that now.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, I'm leaning toward now just bleed out everything.
Yeah.
And it's not something you're going to eat right away and you're going to keep it for a while.
You can also soak it in buttermilk for a day.
Yeah.
Or teriyaki sauce marinade.
Pike up north, when me and Audrey's brother would spear pike in this little canal, everybody's like, just soak it in buttermilk overnight. And that's what we would do before we'd eat it.
I worked at a restaurant where we did that. What's up with that, Grant? What are y'all guys going to do this weekend?
We got the Superman celebration this weekend. Monica's coming down.
Nice.
All right, you guys do that there in your town, right? Or nearby?
Yeah, it's in town. Yeah, it's the Superman costume contest, and it's pretty neat.
That sounds cool. Ben, I've
everybody
never heard
in the
of
chat,
freshwater fish.
We need to know what supervillain Grant's going to dress up as.
Oh, he's going to be a super
best
villain?
Superman villain for Grant to dress up as.
Not the Joker.
No, I wouldn't do Joker.
Penguin? Or
I was thinking what's his name, Zor, or the one that got struck in the mirror in the Christopher Reeves movie.
Oh crap!
I forget the name.
I'm not deep enough into that to know all those. Hey Ben, I don't know of anybody that eats freshwater fish as sashimi or sushi.
That's a different one. That's a good question, though. I'd be curious, but I would think maybe trout. That's a hell of and salmon.
Salmon though, saltwater, freshwater.
Not true.
Both, you know what I mean? But somebody said trout. So 405 Outdoors said trout sushi is good. Okay, so there you go.
I will say I like fish eggs. John, we talked about that. That's I eat the fish eggs from everything that we catch down here. I tried that up in Wisconsin, and it was not good. It is not the same.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yep.
Here's what you do, folks. sashimi, it's raw fish. So the next time you're cleaning a fish and you're wondering, would this be, cut a little piece and throw it in your mouth. That's how you find out. If it's like, oh, that's real fishy, then yeah, you don't want to eat that as sashimi. That's how you find out.
Yeah, basically, if it doesn't taste bad, it'll be just fine.
Yeah,
like there's nothing about any of the fish that you put on sushi that's like, oh my God, this is what makes the sushi.
Right, exactly.
And I'm the biggest fan of this stuff. Hey, what's up, Danny?
What's up,
We're
Dan?
talking about smoking now. We talked about weed earlier.
Somebody said something about weed.
NBA.
There it is.
What's up, NBA?
Row.
NBA's in the house. NBA's looking all stealth now. You all see that?
No.
Yeah. He went out there living in the bush for that long. He lost 50 pounds. I was like, damn.
Nice, man.
He says now the challenge is back. He's back out of the bush trying to keep it off.
Are you going to like rename the channel like 1/2 Mountain Bushcrafter?
I'm thinking it was probably not as much moonshine when he was in the bush. That's what I'm thinking. A lot more walking too, I think.
A lot of water.
Checking traps and all that. 405 said rainbow trout. So I imagine if rainbow trout is, you know what? A lot of this stuff, I know, especially with cats, a lot of this stuff is the water you got it out of.
Yes.
Cooler moving water typically is better than warm, stale, stagnant water. You know, that goes for catfish. That probably, you know, didn't do a study or anything, but I would say that probably applies to a lot of fish. The meat and everything is a little bit better probably if they're in a river or a lake that's deep and gets cool, that kind of stuff, versus shallow, non-moving water. I would assume.
Real quick here, we got a question from Discord server.
Oh, well, let's answer it.
Yeah, I need to bring that up here. I forgot. It's been a couple weeks since we've had one. Snapper asks, and for everybody in the chat, I'd love to hear your answers on this too, because I mean everybody here is going to know more than me. Hey y'all, this tackle box was given to me, but I have no idea what most of these jigs are. I've been a catfisher most of my life, so all this stuff is new to me. If someone could identify these, that would help a lot.
Those are jigs.
Every one of them's a jig, yeah.
You might, second one over from the right, maybe as a tube jig.
It looks like yeah, I can recognize that. That's for like crappie right there.
Yeah, and the white one is a feathered jig. But I mean, jigs, there's so many fish you can catch with the crappie, brim, bluegill, whatever you want to call them.
Bass will take that.
Yeah, bass. So, and offshore, that white one, that feathered white one, offshore, if it's a really big feathered white one, they can work well too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen Thresher catch redfish with those.
Yeah. So, Grant, any names of these particular jigs?
Shit, I'd just call the one on the left a little minnow swim jig, and a green and orange a tube jig, and I've never seen the third one actually. So
that looks like somebody's playing a practical joke almost.
It does. I was going to say that, and I didn't get around to making a meme, but it does. I was going to say this is going to be a birds and the bees conversation.
Yeah, that one looks silly.
Yeah, hair jig. I've tried a big one like that a few times and not had any luck. I mainly have luck on smaller ones.
And you're pan fishing.
Yeah. Right. Or crappie, bass.
Yeah. So those would be good for all of that, pretty much.
Yeah.
Seems to be the consensus. I don't know the first thing about it, but I'm just very loud, and I would say the same thing. Like, this is all stuff that I would use for panfish, maybe small bass. I wouldn't go for big bass with them.
Yep, definitely.
Oh, now we're talking. So 405. So we're taking like bids on what we need to do for like a 10,000 subscriber special or something.
Oh, you know what, Stanley? You need to do gaff top sashimi.
Oh, that would be absolutely awful.
No, would it? It's the best tasting catfish out of the ocean. It's better than a hardhead.
What the hell does that? The best tasting catfish? That's like saying it's like the not worst tasting,
Yeah,
whatever thing that tastes bad.
But come on, that is right up your lane to do sashimi gaff top. I'm just saying.
What kind of like precedent do I need to set for that? Like,
That is
like a subscriber count by the end of summer, followers on Discord by the end of summer or something. What?
Yeah, whatever you want, folks in the chat.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah,
I'm curious about it. Like, this sounds absolutely terrible. I want to have nothing to do with this, but at the same time, I'm like, I'll try anything once. But I kind of want to be paid up front. You know?
I remember a week or two ago, maybe 3 weeks, multiple times you've talked about how you want to try everything raw. Oh, every fish we catch, I want to try it raw.
The best ones taste good raw. The best ones.
Well, that's the best catfish in the ocean.
That's like, of all the jellyfish that are out there, this one does not taste as bad. You should try this.
I don't know. I think
if you're going to go through like a smorgasbord of shit, and you're like cow or pig, go. We got chicken over here.
Salmonella. Look, why not? Come on, folks in the chat. Let them know.
I'm interested. Yeah, I'm in. I mean,
I think that would be a bit. That is one video, and I don't know.
That sounds so bad, though.
That's one video I don't think I've ever heard of. Look, you don't have to catch them in the bays and all. You can catch them out at the jetties where there's moving water.
You're still going to get Vibrio from the weed.
They're a whitish meat when you fillet them too. I know that because I've eaten them. They're good.
Mushy as hell, full of parasites.
No. They're clean white fillets. They're really firm actually, but you have to do a blind eat random will.
That would be. We could do that on a live stream. Yeah,
that would be good. You have somebody like, okay, try this one. You don't get to see what it is. All right, what do you think? Okay, and they're showing who's ever watching.
I did so I like the challenge idea on that. I did the saltwater, the Texas Slam taste test, and I got it right. I nailed all three.
I remember that video.
So I wouldn't mind like taking a crack at that, like a wheel of like different fish, and like let's see how many I can get right.
But it's all sashimi.
Of course, my dad, he's like, he wouldn't do this, like he wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, but he's like, go for it.
Fishing without a boat, you probably end up in the hospital. That makes the best video. That would make the best video. If he ends up in the hospital, he's going to get hundreds of thousands of views.
Right? A live stream from the hospital. Win-win. 405 says Vibrio, Salmonella, and E. coli, the whole bit all at once. Have you ever seen that episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns, he goes to the doctor and they're like, what's wrong with you? And the doctor's like, well, you have everything. Every disease out there you have. And he's like, so you mean I'm invincible? He's like, well, no. And he takes this little plastic door and he's like, see, like these are all the diseases, all these dolls. He's like, these are all the diseases you have. And say this door is your immune system. And you just can't fit them all through the door. They don't all fit at once. But if one goes through, they all slip through. It was like this really good analogy that Matt Groening did with the whole thing. And Mr. Burns looks at him and he's like, so you're saying I'm invincible?
Flathead sashimi, no. I don't know. Well, if I had to have sashimi of a freshwater catfish, it would probably be the flathead because I know they're eating live bait more often than blues or channels. So, but no, I wouldn't want a freshwater catfish at all.
All right.
Paul said to freeze it and it'll kill the parasites.
Yeah, and that's what I do with all the stuff that we do here.
And gaff top. So,
yeah,
you know, you can cut out the parasites. Quit being wussies. You eat amberjack, don't you?
It's not the one you can see that I'm worried about.
Okay.
I'm the least concerned about those disgusting worms and those little tongue-eating things. Those are not the ones I'm worried about.
Oh man. Yeah, that's gonna be a good video.
Yeah, if I can see a parasite, I'm definitely not eating it raw.
Yeah.
Raw.
How about we just straight up I just eat the parasites out of something? Like, I mean, that's kind of what we're all like.
Yeah, there you go. How much weight do you really want to lose?
Right. Okay, NBA. We're gonna have a little contest.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, it's that time. We need to take a look at some photos. We got a few to be checking out here. We will continue this conversation. Anybody that's got anything to throw my way, I'm happy. I like the direction this is going. We could have some fun with this.
I agree.
So we've got our photos of the week, courtesy of the premier fishing and hunting Discord server. There is a link in the video description down below. If you're not a member, you need to be. We're having a lot of fun, and this is where we're getting all our photos from. We like to share and live vicariously through everybody else's experiences. First off, we've got our moment of zen. Just the guys who posted the most beautiful photos just right off the bat. It might not have anything to do with fishing or anything else, but it's just a beautiful time. Somebody went out and touched grass and had fresh air.
And German Shepherd pup.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about. That's the important thing. Starting off, Wild Japan. So he's over in Japan, obviously. Correct me if he's in Japan. Might be in Taiwan.
All his fish.
He's doing micro fishing. So but that's the challenge. That's the thing that they're doing. Is they're actually like they have awards and everything for the person who can catch the smallest fish on with
use a dip net.
No, you have to actually catch it on like a stick with like a like if you take a stick and you put a line on it with a hook, how small can you actually go? And they actually have awards for people who can get into like the 1 centimeter or the 1 inch range, or 3 centimeters.
Holy. I want to see Wild Japan, next time send a picture of the hook that you catch something like that on compared to
He sends them. Oh. He sends those in the server. You can't even see, like, he's a good photographer. You can't even see the damn hook because they're so small. Yeah, they're tinny.
Tinny hooks.
He's got a whole series. And Dylan is Wild Japan. I didn't even do you justice. He's got so many pictures across the board in there. He's doing his he cooks, and he's got stuff in the cooking channel. He does foraging, he does hiking, fishing, you name it. He's all across the board.
Who's the little guy?
Oh yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Dylan. I didn't catch it's I don't know your family's name. I apologize. Family was out there having fun. As long as
let us know who it is. And then I got a question for the picture on the bottom left. It's almost all black. What the hell is that?
That is the result of me getting hounded by questions at the time when I was putting the slideshow together. That's what that is. Like I didn't. I got the layering wrong with it. Sorry. Good eye. Oh no! You know what it is? That's that picture on the bottom right. It extends past.
So the young man's picture is over the top of that.
Yeah.
But then on the left, the black area is just dead.
Layering's all weird.
All right.
I got a ton of emails dumped on me right when I was doing this. That's Lily running around with his. That's right. Lily stole his hat.
Lily, okay. Lily, that's a cool name.
That is a cool name.
I try, Monica. I try.
Dylan, keep them coming, man. Also, check out Dylan. He's like one of the few guys I know right now who's going out there and doing fishing live streams. So if that's something you're interested in, which I am, I've been enjoying them.
Yeah, they're challenging, but they're cool.
He lost a rod on a recent one. So, yeah. Zane, who we talked about a whole lot last week. This is towards the tail end of his trip.
Is he on tonight? I haven't seen him yet tonight, right?
I haven't either. His timing is weird. It's like 3-4 in the morning for him right now. And I know he's still got like a fishing trip or something coming up.
That is just awesome.
Yeah, it is. Every bit. And then the stories he has to tell, just everything are freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Pickle, there you are, man.
Pickle's been busy.
He got out there. He got himself some fish.
Slabs.
Exactly, right? Look at those things.
Big crappie.
Nice crappie. Holy shit. Yeah. That's good fishing right there.
Pickle, I didn't catch your friend's name, man, but you need to give that gentleman credit for some good fish.
Yeah, those are some digs.
Yeah. Nice pike, but man, them crappie are really nice.
I'm fond of them pike, but you're right. Like those crappie are just, that's meat.
Yeah, they're nice.
Solid meat.
Uh-oh.
There he is. These are the first pictures that I got. He's all excited getting out there with a boat already.
Yeah, you see that boat behind him there in that one
Yep.
picture?
Yeah, we were on our way back from Nashville, and traffic just come to a standstill. So I was like, "Hey, it's a good time to take a picture."
Yeah,
You know,
water.
I was nervous doing that.
Yeah, that was the Ohio River. Yeah, it was
Wow,
calm. It was nice.
that is nice.
And then, of course, for anybody who missed it earlier in the stream, Grant was just absolutely tearing it up.
Yeah, we had a
Beautiful
good.
fish, man. Those
Yeah.
guys are pretty.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, good day.
Of course, earlier we talked about it too. I had a great weekend. Got Rachel out on Thrill Ride. We got ourselves a ton of fish. You can expect that video to pop up sometime in the next 6 months.
Nice.
It's taken me forever to edit these things.
Yeah, you need to get a little faster. I'm still waiting on the swordfish video. Come on.
I am
man.
so I got like 20% left on that thing.
All right, good. So you're saying it's going to be out this week?
Yeah, it'll be out this summer sometime.
Damn it.
405. There's your boat, man. I'm looking forward to seeing how this project goes, dude. Because I'm working on a very similar John boat myself. My motor should be in on the 12th, by the way. That got delayed.
Finally.
Macy Dittmer is also working on his boat, and Black Warrior Lures just always has like gorgeous shots, of course.
Yeah, looks like I got some nice slow pitch jig or something there.
It's slow pitch, exactly what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Lots of people getting out on the water here. Big Anthony, Fetus, Guardian, I forget his name, Guardian something, GYS, FY Outdoors, Shadowcat, Caleb, and Griff, along with Moneybag Yo.
So Moneybag Yo, those are bluefish, right?
Yes. Yep.
Big Anthony, what is that?
That's a bluefish.
Is it? Man, he looks skinny compared to the others.
These guys are East Coasters, yeah.
Oh, okay. We won't hold that against him.
Big Anthony, I was excited about this. He was new. He popped in and he was like, just new to the server. He's like, hey guys, check this out, and just started dumping photos. So I love it. And of course, saltwater.
That's a little gar, isn't it? Bottom left.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a little gar.
Yeah.
Nice
Couple of
pike
them.
up
They're
there,
doing a little
top
bit of
center.
stuff.
Is that a pike top center, or is that
I'm not sure. I don't remember off the top of my head
spots
now.
on it? Throw me off, but that's good looking fish. So
Fetus,
nice
let us
spot.
know in the description, or not the description. Let us know in the comments down below. So if anybody has any questions about that, let us know what you got there.
Yep. Oh, here we go fishing.
There it is. ZCA getting that's a Laguna Madre boy right there. We got Hatter with a nice perch, of course. Ben with We Go Fishing got himself into a couple of really nice catches over here. I
That
believe
trout is nice.
that was not Sabine Lake, right? Or maybe this was Sabine.
And
I
that,
get mixed up because you've had a couple of good trips.
the dolphin shot, that's a good shot right there. I don't know if they're just lucky and got it the time.
Hanging out in the wake, yeah.
It's pretty.
And then of course Pug Attack,
Yeah.
getting out there into it. 405 says only plan I really have for the boat right now is repainting and adding storage. I'm kind of doing the same thing. I just want to make mine look pretty. My concern right now, of course, is just getting that damn motor in.
Function over form, gentlemen. Function over form.
So so that's a 23-inch trout, Ben says.
Dang, that was a big one.
23-inch trout over at Sabine Lake and a 31-inch redfish. Excellent stuff.
Nice. Yeah. Two great fish. Sabine Lake. I've never fished that.
Just before we get to the awards and the picking out the winners and stuff like that, gentlemen, you're getting called out publicly.
I'm not going to be able to make
Yeah,
it.
I've already said that. I'm not going to be able to because I'm going to be in the middle of getting my boat down to the coast.
Ben,
Sorry,
you
man.
get free reign to call anybody out whenever you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I wish I could.
I wish Grant could too, because Grant really does need to get in.
Yeah, we're going to make that happen. We have to.
Yeah. Yep.
So it is that time. We're at the 1 hour mark. It is time for us to choose who our photographer of the week is going to be. Last week, of course, it was Zane with the amazing trip he's doing out in Africa. This week, Who have we got? Our options are Pickle Outdoors with a couple of slabs. Big Anthony dropping a big old bluefish right off the bat. And then, of course, Ben. Can't argue with that big old trout, man. Everybody in the chat, please let us know who needs to be added to your photographer of the week. This is something that this is an award that everybody's going to get to share in, and you get to pick who is going to be included in that.
Okay, so Pickle's been in there, but typically it's his wife who gets the picture, right? And
well, for good reason.
And Ben's been in there. Big Anthony's new to the show.
Yeah,
man,
nice we don't have any bluefish on the board either.
There are no bluefish.
No,
man, this is a tough one.
It
is a tough one.
I love those crappie. I love that trout. Golly.
It's a good damn trout. But you know what? I think we have better trout coming up this summer.
I like to see that.
Ben, I'm telling you.
I'd like to catch those. All right, I'm going for the newbie.
It's 3-3 right now between Big Anthony and We Go Fishing.
I picked the newbie.
3-3-2. Oh, we got Big Anthony. You know what? I'm going to go put in my boat. I'm going.
Those crappie are beautiful. Any one of those can win. It doesn't matter.
I agree. It's another one of those circumstances where a really good picture, a really good fisherman is going to get left off of the board on this one.
Goth Farmer snuck in, got us the
Hey, Goth Farmer.
Man.
I couldn't pick between the three. That my only reason I picked A was because there was two big fish.
So, good call. Good call.
Yeah, I picked B because type of fish we haven't seen and a new person to the group. So
true. Yep. Very nice.
Ben says we're all winners.
That's right. Everybody gets a trophy.
It looks like Big Anthony is taking this one. It's 6-4. Unless anybody has anything that needs to drop in on this, Big Anthony is going to be our winner. Now, that having been said, Ben, Pickle, you guys, awesome shots. Keep the fishing coming. I know both of you guys have more wins coming in your future. That having been said, anybody who's in on this, we've got, I believe, it's 3 or 4 more weeks where we are going to be collecting these, and then we're going to announce the winner of the first half of 2023 Photographer of the Year. Going to be a big contest thing we're going to be doing at the end of the year, but we're doing a giveaway for the persons who win this whole thing at the end of the year, and you got a couple more to do. Get into the Discord server, give us your photos so that we can enjoy them here on the stream, and good luck. We want to, enjoy each other's fishing.
And that link to the Discord server is in the description down below.
On that note, though, I do have to say, nobody else has posted anything. I think we have Big Anthony is going to be the winner this week. You're getting added to the 2023 Photographer Wall of Fame. We'll have you up there next week. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing more from you, sir.
Excellent. Excellent. And as usual, we have gone over our time limit. So those of you in the chat, start posting real quick what you got going on this coming weekend. What are you going to do that we get to see next week?
It's accountability time. We're going to hold each other to
Grant, what you doing this weekend, Mr. Grant?
Well, it's Superman celebration. Monica said she's coming down. Nick didn't make it in. I think Nick Pouliot and his wife and 2 sons, they're supposed to come Saturday for the Superman celebration. So that's about it right now. That's all I know.
Family and friends time. Grant or Stanley, what you got going on this weekend?
So what my plan is on Friday, I have been told that I need to get out on Thrill Ride and go do another offshore fishing trip. Of course, on Saturday. Oh, no, wait, that's next weekend.
No, that's next weekend. Yeah, I was going to say.
I've got different fishing trips this weekend. So my whole spiel here was that I was about to bail on everybody next weekend so that I could sleep. But I got different fishing trips this weekend. I'm not going to bail on those. So I'm going to get offshore and try to get myself a little bit more red snapper.
You got a lot of fishing to do. I've got a boat to finish pretty much by the end of this weekend. So I got a lot of work ahead of me. So I'm going to be diving into it head first.
Everybody's getting out there having a great weekend. I love it. Goth Farm, what are you going to be doing? Monica, you're going out there?
It's like everybody's doing something.
Nice.
Good. All right. Well, folks, it's about that time. We do appreciate everybody coming out and joining us And we will see you next week. And we don't have to try to guess where we're going to be because we know where we're going to be. We're going to be right here on the Outdoors Cruise channel, right? So catch us all next week. Peace out, folks.